record this as well. Yeah, so I was saying was after installing Python, you have to install PyCharm. It's one of the best environment in which you can program with Python. So you can come into new, you can select from its Python file, and we can just name this as the first lecture. Okay, and this is where we code. Okay, so as far as Python is concerned, obviously the latest version of Python has a lot better libraries built in. It does the indentation for you. So as we proceed further, as we keep on coding, you will learn about all the functionality of this program. So there's no point I waste the first lecture explaining you all that. You will learn this yourself. So let's say if you type print, you can just say over there is hi there. And if you want to display the output, you have this play button at the very top. You click on this and you can actually see the output at the bottom over here. So this is the way we'll be working with it. Okay, right. So we'll start with our initial discussion of obviously it's the very first lecture. I'll share the lecture in the group as well. So since most of you have done JavaScripting with me and you have some basic idea about JavaScripting, it will be obviously beneficial for you. So let's say if I have some uh, variable text, I can define it. I can write over here is, let's say, uh, this is, then I can use slash n, the is the very first lecture. Now, if we print this txt out, this is how we actually go to the next line. Okay, what I'll do is, in order to make it easier, where our group is, where is our group here? I'll just keep on all of it. I'll post over here. Okay, so this slash with the help of slash n, we can go to the next line. We can keep on going to the next line, right? Right. Then, for example, there are lots of things we have to discuss over here. Obviously, same way. For example, if I have a is equals to 9 and I have b is equals to 8, and if I say print a plus b, in this particular case, it is going to give me 17. And just like exactly the way we did in JavaScripting, if I put this in double quotes, it is going to concatenate. Yeah, just a revision because it's a different platform. So you see 98, it's a string, so it will concatenate that, right? And you can see over here is that it defines the class of it. If I type over here is print a type. In fact, I'll do something. I'll type over here b is 9, c is equals to true, d is equals to, I can type over here is 9, right? So if we look at the data type of all of these, we will find is that in case of B, in case of C, and in case of D, what do we have? So you can see over here is that the data type of the very first one, it's a string because this is a string, it's in double quotes. Then you can see B is an integer. You can see this is a Boolean logic. Bool basically means Boolean logic, yes or no. And D is in decimal, it's known as a float, yes or no, right? So this is how we can define the data types of all of these. Okay, let's continue. We'll talk about more of string manipulation now. indexing and slicing. Let's just exactly the way we did last time. So randomly, I'll just be going in discussing the basic points today. So let's say I can have over here is, I can define is str, a string, and I can write over here is, let's say I can write over here is Python, right? So if I write over here is print str, and over here, if I just simply write over here is 1, what I would see is I get is y. Why do I get y? I'm pretty sure all of you know is that we did discuss that in case of a string, in case of an arrays, in case of a list, we have element numbers, and the index number of p is 0, y is 1, t is so on and so. So it starts from 0. This is the reason why if I want to find out what is in the first, which will be y, right? So we obviously know that. So let's talk about more of this. If I type over here,
Excuse me, sir.
yes, beta.
Sir, you said in the case of string, in the case of arrays, and what was the third one?
T, because this is 0, p is 0, y is 1, t is 2, 3 is yeah, so 0 keep on, we'll just keep on counting it. The
No,
index
sir,
number.
I'm asking something else. I'm asking that you said that this is in the case of string, this is in the case of arrays,
And
and then what
okay,
was the third one?
yes, I'm so sorry. List. We haven't discussed list because the concept of list was not there in JavaScripting. In fact, we have a different new concept over here, which will be which will be known as a dictionary. So we'll be discussing dictionary as well, list as well, arrays as well. These three tend to behave in a different way. Get my point? So as you proceed further, I will introduce you
Yes, sir.
what these actually are. Okay, they're all different. Okay, so if I write over here -1, yeah, what's actually happening over here in case of -1? So it's getting me from the right hand side, if I'm correct. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So -1 means now it's extracting me from the very right hand side. If I type over here -2, in that particular case, it's getting me the which one? The second last one. So on and so. You get my point, right? So you can practice this. You will experiment this yourself as well. If I type, for example, is 2 :4, I would obviously get is th. Okay. If I just type 4:4, in that case, what happens is it extracts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it does not include the 4. The fourth is not inclusive. Yes or no? The fourth is not inclusive. You get my point? Okay. So this is something that I would like you to practice it yourself. I'll mention it as well. So just type it in and make your notes so that, okay, I'll mention here as well. Uh, Practice your notes for all the options, right? Okay. Uh, which also includes, mention over here, let's say -2. Okay. As well. Right. Am I clear on this, all of you? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I did not hesitate discussing this online because since you have done JavaScripting with me, if we would have not done JavaScripting, any part of programming, I would have not started this class online. Okay, so no issue. It's quite basic. There's nothing much complicated. But make sure you install and start practice. Why is everyone joining so late? Okay. Then we have, let's say, txt. I'll again discuss some very basic points. Okay. Hi there. This is the very first lecture. Right. So what I can do is I can type over here is txt, and I can have over here is no, not sorry. I can have over here, let's say x is equals to txt dot capitalized. So there are lots of built-in methods over here. Okay. So obviously, this would capitalize it. But what I mean to say is that let's say if this was this, you see, it's in capital case. If I would have written this in small again, then it would have capitalized. It has done that. Okay, so that's how you capitalize. These are very basic things, but they tend to be important eventually, right? And the same way, you also have is lower. So let's say if I would have written this in capital, it would have obviously converted into a lowercase forcefully. Nothing much. And the same way we have is, oops, sorry, is dot upper. So if I run this, it forcefully converts everything into upper. Right. Then let's discuss more things. For example, if I can say there is a very, okay, hi there. This is the very first lecture. Uh, um, the the very first, I mean, okay. Why am I writing this actually is because what I want to talk about is, let's say if I have dot count, I would like to count something. If I want to count over here is how many times I have used over here is very. Did I use very twice? Yeah, I did. So if I run this, it tells me that I'm using very two times. Yes or no? So I can count. This tends to be quite important. Okay. We should know how to count a particular character, a particular string, whatever, from the defined one. Then we can talk about is, yeah, same way we can also talk about is find. So if I use find over here, well, let's see what happens. So it says over here is 21. It means that the vary is starting from the 21st location. Okay, the numeric position, 21st. Get my point? Have quite the same thing that whatever we did in Java. If you remember, those of you who did attend the lecture. Okay, we also have something like I believe it's replace. So we could do is we could replace vary with, okay, there is a, this is the very first, this is the, what will I use instead of vary? Any synonym instead of vary? This is the, this is the, this is the lovely first lecture. You get the point, right? So this is what we mean by replacing. This is what I like about the new Python. You see, this is actually not part of my coding, but it tells me that this is the old one and this is the new one. So, frankly speaking, AI has started integrating itself within Python itself as well. So it's so good, right? Then we can actually do is we can somehow talk about is the split. So what I mean to say by split is txt. Are all of you with me? I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. Yeah, I am. Huh? Yeah. So I've just split this up. Iman, am I talking to myself? You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir, we can hear you loud and
Oh,
clear.
thank you. Right. So yeah, this is how we can split. Now you might be wondering why do we want to split? Later on when we do more advanced, you'll get to know why do we have to split at times. Okay. What else? What else? What else? Okay. Maybe I can talk about is there's this. Yeah, they still have it. Starts with. If I want to find is starts with this. No. Sorry. I. Get the point? So yes, at times you may want this. Is it starting with this or not? So it will tell you that your particular string or whatever you're typing starts with what? Okay. What else is there? Hmm. Concatenation we've discussed. Uh, there are lots of built-in, but obviously there's no point of discussing all of them. Replace I've discussed. Who is joining now? And then we have then we have the next is will be arrays, but I don't want to start with arrays right now. What could it be? I don't think so. Should I start with arrays right now? I don't think so. I should think so. We should be doing it in class arrays as far as arrays are concerned, because it might be too fast with all of you who have not done this before. Do you agree with me? Yeah. Any question till now that you have? I think this was quite basic, I believe. But because this is the first lecture that we have, so you just have to practice it. Okay. What I can do is I can just sign off now. And meanwhile, those of you who have not installed Python and PyCharm, you install it. And whatever codes I've shared with you, just a couple of codes, you start working on it. If it works, then maybe obviously we'll start with arrays. What we have to do is, let me see. What I plan to do is, I'll just make a note of what we need to do. So what we need to do in our ASP2 will be, first, I'll give like 1 month for Python, then we can come into P2 directly. We will be discussing, first of all, is the string manipulation, then we'll talk about arrays actually do not exist in Python. They're actually known as list in Python, frankly speaking. We have is dictionary over here. Okay, we'll discuss dictionaries. We will be discussing loops. We'll be discussing the if statements. We'll be discussing over here is the functions. Okay, we will be discussing what else? What else? Functions. I don't want to do classes over here right now. Yeah, but I need to do is file handling with you. Okay, because as we proceed further, we have to do the pseudocodes. So if you know how to uh, solve a problem in Python, writing pseudocode will be a lot more easier. The very reason I prefer Python is because when I'll write in the pseudocode, you will see, sir, this is quite just like what we're writing in Python. So
Sir, these are the topics we have to cover in that.
we have to cover these in Python. Okay. Okay. These topics are actually a part of your P2 programming. Okay. Get the point. You get questions related to computational
Yes, sir.
thinking related to the following problems. And obviously the following topics we first have to do in Python as a programming. Then as we are doing it, we will also write the pseudocode of this. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
this is the way we'll be doing so. Right? Maybe there's more I will be doing. I would like to cover up more with you so that we can save our time of P4. Let's see how it goes. I can't say right now. I have to see the speed of the entire class. At times, some students are not getting, they're going slow. So I have to look at everyone. Okay. Right. So just give me like 5 minutes. I will share the link of PyCharm and Python with you, install it, and start practicing. Am I right? Okay. Any question that you might have? If you do. Yeah. So some people just joined right now. So um, maybe someone else can explain them that what was basic thing. Okay. If someone needs any help, please, anyone over here who Iman, anyone who wants to volunteer can explain them. This is the basic lecture what that we did today. Okay. And eventually, better as we proceed further, if you miss the class, it will be a lot more problem for you. Okay, so I would recommend कि हम class इंशाल्लाह miss नहीं कर रहे हैं कोई भी करेगा ठीक है प्रोग्रामिंग में एक लेक्चर का मतलब है कि आपका दरमियान में काफी ब्रेक आ जाएगा. Am I clear on that? Right? Okay. So see all of you, right? Okay, hold on. Let me take your attendance, by the way. Yeah, I've checked your papers, but I can't share them right now over here. I know you might be thinking about it, but I was happy with the result. I was really happy with many of you. Did very well. Very, very well. Hold on. Why can't I? Seriously. I don't want to take two screenshots. Who's the last one? Zoha. Okay, beta. So fine. I'm signing off, right? Okay. Okay. Allah Hafiz.